Have you ever wondered how to make the perfect creme patissiere? Welcome to the world of pastry making, where this rich and creamy custard, also known as vanilla pastry cream, plays a quintessential role. Think of it as the silent hero of many of your favorite desserts, adding depth, flavor, and that melt-in-your-mouth texture we all crave. Creme patissiere is essentially a delightful blend of creaminess and richness, achieved by thickening with starch and eggs. It's a master skill to acquire if you have a sweet tooth for pastries and other dessert types. But its versatility doesn't stop there. Imagine the joy of biting into a classic profiterole or a cream puff, filled to the brim with this indulgent cream. Or perhaps a chocolate eclair, where the creme patissiere is the star of the show, subtly balancing the rich chocolate. Now picture a Boston cream pie or a fruit tart such as a strawberry tart, where the pastry cream provides a delicious contrast to the fruit's tanginess. But we're not done yet. Creme patissiere also makes a delightful base for millefeuille and is the secret ingredient behind the creamiest vanilla pudding or chocolate pudding. Its luxurious texture and delicate vanilla flavor make it the perfect filling for a wide variety of desserts. So whether you're a seasoned baker or a newbie embarking on your baking journey, mastering creme patissiere is a skill worth learning. Stay tuned to learn how to whip up this delectable custard right in your kitchen. Before we start with our recipe, let's clear up some confusion about custard-based desserts. There's a whole world of custards out there, each with their unique qualities and uses. First up is crème anglaise, a pouring custard, a bit runnier than what you might think of when you hear custard. It's essentially a thick sauce that can be poured over desserts. It isn't typically thickened with a starch, although some might use a little cornstarch to avoid scrambling the eggs. It's not brought to a boil to prevent the eggs from curdling. Picture it drizzled over a warm slice of apple pie or a brownie. Next, we have crème chantilly. It's lightly whipped cream sweetened with sugar and typically flavored with vanilla. This is the dreamy cream that tops off your hot chocolate or adds that final touch to a slice of pie. Then there's crème patissiere, also known as pastry cream. This is a thicker custard, thickened using starch and eggs or egg yolks. It's mostly used to fill pastries and other desserts. Unlike crème anglaise, pastry cream is heated to a boil, which allows it to thicken well. And thanks to the starch, the eggs don't curdle readily. Imagine it piped into a cream puff or layered in a Boston cream pie. Our final custard in the lineup is crème légère. This is a delightful combination of pastry cream or crème patissiere with sweetened and flavored whipped cream or chantilly. Most people refer to this as crème diplomate. It's light, airy, and perfect for filling delicate pastries or topping off a decadent dessert. Each of these custards has its own purpose and shines in different desserts. They might seem similar, but their differences in texture, consistency, and preparation make them unique. So, now that we've sorted out the custard confusion, you're one step closer to becoming a custard connoisseur. With that knowledge, we're ready to delve into the world of crème patissiere. Eggs play a crucial role in creating the perfect crème patissiere. And when we talk about eggs, it's the yolks that really steal the show. They are responsible for not one, but two critical roles in the making of our creamy, dreamy custard. Firstly, egg yolks impart a rich, velvety texture to the crème patissiere, a characteristic that's a non-negotiable in any good custard. Secondly, they serve as the primary thickening agent, ensuring that our custard has the perfect consistency. Now, you might be wondering about the ratio of whole eggs to egg yolks. Well, there's no hard and fast rule here. You can definitely experiment with a mix of whole eggs and yolks, or even use all whole eggs if you prefer. Just know that the more yolks you use, the richer and creamier your custard will be. For this recipe, we'll be using 4 large egg yolks or 3 large egg yolks plus 1 whole egg. This results in a crème patissiere that's deliciously spreadable and pipeable without being too stiff. But if you're after a truly indulgent custard, consider using up to 6 large egg yolks. This will give you a slightly thicker custard, thanks to the extra yolks. Remember, a little extra egg won't ruin your pastry cream, it'll just make it richer. So don't be afraid to play around and find the perfect balance for your taste buds. After all, baking is as much an art as it is a science. Now, we're ready to get started on our crème patissiere. First, let's gather all our ingredients. We'll need 4 large egg yolks, or an alternative of 3 large egg yolks and 1 large egg, half a cup of granulated sugar, a quarter cup of cornstarch, 2 cups of whole milk, and 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. If you wish for a richer tasting pastry cream, consider using up to 6 large egg yolks instead. Next, let's start by mixing our eggs and sugar. Take a medium-sized bowl and whisk together the egg yolks and sugar until well combined. the mixture should turn a lighter yellow. This process is called blanching. You're looking for a pale, creamy texture. When you've achieved this, whisk in the cornstarch until there are no dry lumps. Now, let's heat our milk. In a medium saucepan, bring the milk just to a boil over medium heat. You'll want to keep a close eye on it. You don't want it to scorch or form a skin on top. As soon as it starts to steam and tiny bubbles form around the edges of the pan, it's ready. Here comes the tricky part, tempering the eggs. We want to gradually introduce the hot milk to the egg mixture. If we pour it all in at once, we risk cooking the eggs. So slowly pour about 1/3 of the hot milk into the egg mixture, whisking continuously. This process raises the temperature of the eggs slowly, preventing them from scrambling. Once that's done, pour the warmed egg mixture back into the saucepan with the rest of the milk, whisking constantly. This is where our creme patissiere starts to come together. Now, return the saucepan to the heat and cook over medium heat, whisking continuously. It's crucial to keep the mixture moving, so it doesn't catch on the bottom of the pan and burn. After about 2 minutes, the creme patissiere will start to thicken. You'll know it's ready when it's thick enough to coat the back of a spoon. Remember when we talked about the importance of heating the mixture to a boil? This is when it happens. Once the creme patissiere has thickened, continue to cook it for another minute or so, still stirring. This step ensures the starch is fully cooked out, and it also helps to thicken the cream even further. Now remove the saucepan from the heat and stir in the vanilla extract. This gives our creme patissiere that classic, rich vanilla flavor. Once the vanilla is fully incorporated, transfer the pastry cream to a clean bowl. To prevent a skin from forming on top, press a piece of plastic wrap directly onto the surface of the cream. Then, let it cool to room temperature before refrigerating it. It's essential to keep the pastry cream chilled until you're ready to use it. This helps it to set and maintain its thick, creamy consistency. If you're not using it right away, it can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 3 days. And there you have it. You've made your very own creme patissiere. This delicious, rich, creamy custard can be used in countless desserts, from pastries to puddings. It's a versatile component that you can use to elevate your baking game. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you make this, the better you'll become at recognizing the right consistency and flavor. So don't be discouraged if your first batch doesn't come out perfectly. Try again and soon you'll be whipping up creme patissiere like a pro. And voila! You have made your very own creme patissiere. Now that you've mastered the classic creme patissiere, let's explore some variations. Understanding how to modify the base recipe of this creamy delight can open up a world of possibilities for your desserts. Firstly, let's delve into the chocolate pastry cream. This variation is a chocoholic's dream and works wonders in desserts like chocolate eclairs or tarts. To create this, simply add dark chocolate to your hot, freshly made creme patissiere. The residual heat will melt the chocolate, creating a rich, velvety chocolate pastry cream. Remember, the quality of chocolate matters, so use the best you can find for a truly decadent treat. Next up is the salted caramel diplomat cream. This is a lighter, sweeter version of the classic, with a delightful hint of saltiness to balance out the sweetness. To make this, you'll start by making a salted caramel sauce. Then, you'll mix this sauce into your base pastry cream before folding in some whipped cream. The result is a fluffy, caramel-infused cream that's perfect for filling cream puffs or topping off a slice of apple pie. But the beauty of pastry cream lies in its versatility. It's a blank canvas waiting for your creativity. Consider adding fruit purees for a fruity twist, or spices like cinnamon or cardamom for an exotic touch. You could even experiment with different types of liqueurs for an adult-friendly version. Remember, the key to all these variations is to start with a well-made creme patissiere. Once you've mastered that, the world of pastry cream is your oyster, so don't limit yourself to just these variations. With a bit of imagination and culinary curiosity, you can create a myriad of flavors to suit any dessert. In the end, the best part of baking is the joy of creating something delicious and sharing it with others. So don't be afraid to experiment and create your own unique versions of pastry cream. After all, the best recipes are those that are infused with a bit of personal flair and a whole lot of love. There you have it, the art of making the perfect creme patissiere. As we conclude our journey through the world of pastry cream, let's take a moment to recap the essentials. We've learned that creme patissiere, or pastry cream, is a rich and creamy custard thickened with starch and eggs. It's a fundamental element in a variety of delightful desserts, from classic profiteroles and chocolate eclairs to fruit tarts and millefeuilles. Remember, the secret to a flawless pastry cream lies in the use of eggs. Whether you choose to use a mix of whole eggs and yolks or all whole eggs, remember that eggs not only add richness to the custard, but also play a crucial role in thickening it, so don't shy away from those eggs. We also delved into the exciting realm of custard varieties, understanding the subtle differences between them. Creme anglaise, the pouring custard, creme chantilly, the lightly whipped cream sweetened with sugar, and creme légère, the luxurious blend of pastry cream with sweetened and flavored whipped cream. Knowing these variations opens up a world of possibilities for your dessert creations. But the fun doesn't stop at vanilla. We've explored how to transform our creme patissiere into a decadent chocolate pastry cream, and even a lighter, sweeter, salted caramel diplomat cream. The versatility of this recipe is truly astounding, limited only by your imagination. The art of making creme patissiere is not just about following a recipe. It's about understanding the ingredients, their roles, and how they interact with each other. It's about experimenting with flavors and textures, and ultimately, creating something that brings joy to you and those you share it with. So, as you embark on your baking adventures, remember these key points we've discussed today. Take your time, enjoy the process, and don't be afraid to make it your own. After all, the best part of baking is the freedom to create, to experiment, and to discover your own unique style. Now, go ahead and impress your friends and family with your newfound pastry skills. Happy baking!